you doing? Welcome back to another video. This one I'm coming to you from Stockton Beach here in Newcastle. For those of you that don't know, I did move down to Newcastle, so this is kind of my new area. Came up to Stockton Beach for the second time today, had an awesome day with a couple of local Jimny owners and Marlon from Brisbane. But what I've got for you today is a review video on the BainTech BainTough 180 watt folding solar panel. So if you're new to my channel, the BainTech battery was actually the first review video that I did on this channel. So got a 110 amp hour lithium slimline battery from BainTech. I'll link the video down below. I probably had that for, it'd be coming up on a year now, and it was one of the first modifications I put in the Jimny. And the reason that I did that is that I needed two things. I needed a power solution, but I needed something that was lightweight. Portable was a thing for me at the time, even though it's become pretty much hard mounted now, but I needed something that was lightweight and that was easy to use, kind of just like a plug and play solution. So the BainTech unit at the time was the lightest one that I could find, 110 amp hours of lithium. If you don't know much about lithium, or 12 volts, that's a lot of power. So that's pretty much double what you get out of 110 amp hour AGM or deep cycle battery. So like I said, I'll leave that video down below, but let's get tucked into this video about the BainTech solar panel. To kick it off, let's talk about what we get in the box. So obviously you're going to get your solar panel. So folds up like this, super compact, weighs 5 kilos, so it's not too heavy. Perfect for the Jimny. Like your traditional folding kind of solar panel that you get is definitely a lot heavier. You're going to get some alligator clips, which are great for charging up your battery. Solar extension lead, I believe this is 5 meters, and you've got the red Andersons, which means you can't get confused, which is great. And you've also got your solar regulator. So like I said, this is a 180 watt solar panel. So in, they say, optimum lighting conditions, you'd be getting around 10 amps coming through the panel. So this is, I'd say, optimum conditions, albeit it is winter sun, which is gives you a little bit less power. But I was getting around 6.5 to 7.5 amps in full sunlight, just kind of draped across the bonnet. So I think if I had have gone, mounted over the roof or angled towards the sun a little bit better on a summer's day, I think you'd be getting very close to that 10 amps. So my battery was almost full, so it's also not taking in 100% of the charge. So it does charge your battery in cycles as well to avoid damaging your battery by just pumping it with power. So it includes a PWM solar regulator. So that's got your red Anderson in, so that's basically your input from your solar panel. And the good thing is that they're a different type of plug, which means you can't actually get them confused if you're kind of new to the whole 12 volt scene. Then what you've got on the output is your grey Anderson. So your grey Anderson can go straight into your battery because it's coming out as a regulated power source. So grey Anderson either into some sort of accessory, or you can split that however you want. But another advantage is it does have 2 USB ports on here. So they're 2.4 amp at 5 volts. So the good thing is that means that you can charge your phone directly from this unit. So if you're going to go down the path of doing your own solar setup, this is a great tool you can get. So this is basically a watt meter. You can get them from pretty much anywhere. You can get it from Jaycar, BainTech, any 12 volt shop essentially. So what it will do is analyze the energy that's basically coming through, analyze the power. So it'll tell you, how much power is coming into and out of. So it's great to use for a solar setup. You can use it on your battery to tell you how much power your accessories are drawing, and just helps you to keep track of that power. So like I said before, the reason I've gone for this solar panel is basically it's one of the easiest that I can find to pack up, to carry around, and it's super light. So 5.1 or 5.11 kilos, it's pretty much as light as you're gonna find it for a 180 watt solar panel. You can definitely get something smaller, but if you're powering something like a 110 amp hour lithium setup, or any sort of larger battery setup, you don't want to be wasting your time with a smaller solar panel and sitting there, just getting 10% extra per day. I can really top my battery up every time we stop. And for example, I put it on top of the awning at the beach, and the awning can hold the weight because it's only 5 kilos. And I know that I'm actually getting pretty much the most power I can get. You can get bigger panels than this, but this is, for me, is the perfect balance between weight and the power input. So it folds up like it's a solar blanket. So it folds up like a blanket, and inside you've got your solar panels. So the good thing about this is that because it's flexible, you don't have to worry about having a rigid panel, trying to shove it in somewhere. It folds up like that, like a big book. And I just like to store mine on the back shelf, or you can even slide it under the seat, in the back of the seat. Really, you can put it anywhere, and that's the great thing about it. I found that previously I had one of the XTM folding solar panels, like your traditional 160 watt solar panel, and I never ended up using it much because it was too big to just put in the back of the Jimny. So I'd kind of pack up everything, and I'm sitting there like, I need the solar panel. But the good thing about this is I know that I can bring it every time, and I have actually been using it every time now because I know that it fits and I don't have to worry about it even if I've forgotten about it till the end of the packing. Alright, so let me give you some of the technical specifications. I am just going to read this from the catalogue because I cannot remember all of these things. So 18 volt power is 180 watts, so I guess at 12 watt you'd be looking at a little bit less. Folded size, you'll be at 398 by 300 by 78, so not too big. It's probably the largest that I would get for the Jimny, but it is 180 watts, so that's the trade-off always. Unfolded size, you're looking at 1.8 meters long by 700 mil wide. So I found that's great for if you want to put it over the awning, or if you did want to put it on the floor, that's perfect as well. But if it was obviously any bigger, you would have dramas trying to fold it up into such a small size like that. 5.11 kilos, monocrystalline SunPower solar cell. So it's a matted PET laminated solar panel. So I'm sorry for not remembering all the technical specifications, but I'd rather read it from here and then at least you know it's accurate. So let's get into who is this solar panel for. There's advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, if you have your folding solar panel, like a rigid panel, you can move it and redirect it easily to face the sun quite quickly. With this panel, you're kind of restricted in you'd need to lay it down on the ground. You could prop it up with some sticks or some sort of pole, or you need to lay it on, like, you know, the awning or on the bonnet. Whereas you've got other options like your fixed solar panel on the roof as well. But the reason I didn't go for a fixed solar panel on the roof is that it's never sitting at the optimal angle. So if you think about the top of your car, it's always going to be pretty much level. How often is the sun level? And you always kind of want to turn your panels towards the sun. So for example, if it's getting towards the afternoon and the sun's, you know, heading towards the horizon, I can hang it off the side of the car and it'll be getting direct sunlight. Whereas if the panels were still on top of the car, you're pretty restricted in that sense. So that's why I think that this panel is perfect. You need to weigh up the benefits, obviously, but the biggest benefit for me, and the reason I've gone for it, as I keep saying, is the portability of it. So I can just put it in the back of the Jimny, and whether I use it or not, it's not a big deal. But any other type of solar panel, I'm either losing roof space or I'm losing cargo space by having a massive solar panel in the back that you have to be relatively delicate with. Whereas this can just sit up on the shelf and be forgotten about. So I think this is perfect for a Jimny owner, of course, because we all know we are very constrained with space. But other than Jimny owners, pretty much anyone. It doesn't matter whether you have a 79 or whatever you have. If you don't have a heap of cargo space to fit an entire solar panel in there that is 180 watts, you're better off going for something like this that's portable. You know, you can easily take it out, put it back in depending on a trip. You don't have to always have the weight on your roof, or you don't have to always have the weight in the back. So I guess just the portability is the biggest thing. So if you're in the market for a new solar panel, or it's something you'd be considering, I'd highly recommend taking a look at the Baintech solar panel. So one of the big features is obviously the plug and play aspect, so you don't have to do any wiring yourself, you don't have to worry about it. Just plug it in, charge your batteries up, unplug it and go. So this this solar panel retails for $1,182. Baintech sometimes do have some sales on their website, but I'd recommend jumping on the website, having a look. I'll leave the link down in the description, and you can also access, there's a couple of product flyers that are on the website which you can get a bit more technical information. If you have any other questions, just shoot me a message on either YouTube or Instagram and I'll be more than happy to answer it. Thanks so much for watching another one of my videos.